here, I'd like to introduce myself as the Toastmaster of the evening. Firstly, I apologize. I missed out on last meeting. I was I was due to the time zone, so I considered joining, but it was in a hotel room, and I didn't want to wake up the people around me. But I'm back in Japan. I'm glad to be back in the same time zone and in the same connection. So before we get started, I would like to share a bit of context regarding tonight's meeting. As I'm sure you will have gathered from the email, we have recruited for club members to represent our club at the upcoming evaluation contest. And Toastmaster Naito and Toastmaster Kasia have kindly raised their hands, the hand to participate. So unless there are any additional members, we would like to put them forward to represent our club. We have 2 slots for each contest. So unless we have 3 members, there's no need to organize a club contest. So this is the background. And today is one of those meetings where we would like to give our contestant, Toastmaster Kasia is absent today, but Toastmaster Naito will have the opportunity to practice in a best effort type of situation where we would like to give him an opportunity to evaluate. So I'll be, as the TMOE, I'll be making some unconventional, we could say, adjustment compared to normal meeting, but please rest assured that these are just to facilitate practice, but I'm sure we'll still have a great meeting. Okay, so hope that makes sense and enough yapping for me. So I would like to move on and introduce to today's helpers. So I'd like to start first by our newest member and Toastmaster India, and I also like to take this opportunity to thank Toastmaster India for immediately accepting on Toastmasters and volunteering for a role. So that's already great initiatives. As VP, I would really like to thank you. So over to you, Toastmaster India. Please, can you introduce the grammarian role?
Okay, so yeah, thank you, Toastmasters Stefano. So for tonight, I will be a grammarian role. As a grammarian, I will play an important role in helping all club members improve the grammar and vocabulary. I will introduce new words to meeting participants and monitor language and grammar usage. I will write down the language and grammar usage of all speakers, noting incomplete sentences, mispronunciation, grammatical mistake, non sequiturs, malapropism, etc. For example, 1 in 5 children wear glasses. Should be 1 in 5 children wears glasses. 1 in 5 children wears glasses. And at the end of the meeting, I will give my report when called on. Thank you.
Thank you. Great explanation. And I really also love your example. So it's always great to learn from fresh, also good to get fresh point of view. So thank you again. Okay, I'd like to move on and I'd like to pass it on to Toastmaster Dice Kono, and thank you for taking the dual role. So firstly, can you please introduce your role as the Wordmeister? Over to you.
Hey, yes, I'm the Wordmeister for the day, and I will present the word of the day. The word of the day is regal. And what that means is having to do with the royal family, or having to do with royalty. Like it's a very regal affair. You might want to, you can use it, like that. And the reason I came up with this is because, one, I forgot that I'm the Wordmeister, so I just made it up on the spot, and I just happened to see Queen Elizabeth's picture on my iPad, so it just kind of popped into my mind. So please try to use the word regal where you can. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kono, for the improvisation. And can can we have a regal meeting? What kind of a meeting would the regal meeting be? Okay,
Regal meeting. Sure, we can.
Yeah. I'll think about better ways of using it. Okay, thank you. So moving on, again, a dual role. Thank you, Toastmaster Naito, for taking the role of counter. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. So my role as the R counter is to count the number of unnecessary sounds or repetitive words you use when you are speaking. For example, you know, I mean, will be counted in my report. These are filler words that affect the effectiveness of delivering your speech. At the end of the meeting, I will present my regal report to you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naito, and also great example of using regal. I'll take a note. Okay, our third dual role taker of the evening is Toastmaster Rie Araki. Can you please go ahead and explain both the timer and then the vote counter role? Over to you.
As timer, I will time the prepared speeches, evaluations, and the table topic speakers. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and the red virtual background. So my background will change. And as vote counter, I will collect and count the votes for best. Do we count votes for best speaker and evaluator? No?
No, we would be voting only for the table topics portion.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So we only vote for the best table topic speaker. So please send me your vote through private chat. So if you want to practice, I know if you're used to it, but if you want to practice, please select my name and send your name via chat. Okay, so back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Araki, for the explanation. Okay, so thank you again to all helpers. I'm the last helper, and I will be just the photographer. So at the end, I'll ask you to have a nice big smile at the end of the meeting, and I'll take a picture so that we can post it on our social media. Perfect. Okay, thank you also Toastmaster Corner for the explanation. Okay, so I will be moving on to the prepared speech section. So today we have one prepared speaker, or if we want to call him the model speaker for the practice, who is Toastmaster Tejima, who has kindly stepped up. Just to clarify, we have Toastmaster Naito, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Tejima, but as a practice for the contest. So he will not be an evaluator, like an evaluator for the normal meeting. The standard evaluator is Toastmaster Kono, so he will be sending out the evaluation, and I'll be sending out he'll also be sending out the form, just for clarity. Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to move on to the prepared speech, and I'd like to call upon the evaluator, Toastmaster Dice Kono, to explain the speech objective. Over to you, Kono-san.
Sure. Toastmaster Tejima's speech is from the Presentation Mastery Path, Level 2, Project 2, Understanding Your Communication Style. So he will share a communication style and its impact on his professional and personal relationships. And the speech is from 5 to 7 minutes. Back to you, Toastmaster Stefano.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kono. So let's welcome Toastmaster.
So are you going to ask Naito-san to leave, or are we just gonna do it like this?
I was gonna ask you and Naito-san to listen to the speech.
Oh, of course. After that. Oh, yeah.
Yes. After that, I'll. Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so let's welcome Toastmaster Tejima to the virtual stage, and Toastmaster Tejima's speech title is Psychological Safety. Psychological Safety, Toastmaster Yuma Tejima. Over to you.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Today, I'm gonna make legal prepared speech as much as possible. So let's begin. Do you know what is your communication style? There is 4 types of communication style on Toastmasters perspective, which is direct, initiating, supportive, analytical. It didn't sound very familiar to me, so let's dive into it. Today, I'm going to talk about my communication style and then it impacted my professional career. Before I move on further, I would briefly explain what are the 4 types of communication style. Let me share my screen first. Four types of communication style. The first, direct. Direct communication style. So, direct communicator. Direct communicators are result-oriented, specific, and efficient. On the other hand, initiating communicators are sociable, enthusiastic, expressive. Supportive communicators are cooperative, sympathetic, and calm. And analytical communicators are precise, disciplined, diplomatic. Through the assessment of pathways, I got a high score of initiating communication style. So let me dig into a little bit further. Initiating communicators value interacting with others and sharing stories, and also allow time for socializing at the beginning of a meeting and create a friendly, non-threatening environment. Yes, I am an initiating communicator, and I like create a friendly, non-threatening environment. So that came to my mind that I do care about psychological safety the most. In Japanese, 心理的安全. Because I have believed and hypothesized that psychological safety is one of the most important things in terms of creating highly engaging team and community. I wanted to prove that anyhow. Through my professional career, I saw a lot of organizations which psychological safety is low. What does it mean? For example, in a meeting, when someone says, please ask if there's any question, or let's discuss about this topic, there is a pause. So usually it takes time for participants to initiate the dialogue. It seems that they are waiting for others to share their opinion because they do not want to make mistakes. Why not? There is some sort of silent pressure that you will look stupid if you say something very funny, or you will be scolded if you question something that you are supposed to know already. I do not like it. It has been a long time that I think why I should feel silent pressure like this. So therefore, I have decided I won't make this type of atmosphere in the future when I am in a people management role. And I have done it since I become people manager. In order to create psychologically safe environment, I have 2 things to implement in my team. Number 1, try not to do denial. For example, if my team members come up with something he or she wanted to do, I encourage them to do it first. I would say, that is a great idea. Let's do it. Even if I don't think it's going to look great. Then what if it didn't go well or they made mistakes? I ask them, what would be your lesson learned? They will tell me. Then we're gonna move on with the action item whenever we make mistake. Number 2, you can ask question after 10 minutes if you don't find your own answer. I'm running technical support team. Their job is troubleshooting and find a solution. Most of the time, it is not easy to find an answer. This type of industry in common sense. You practice, you should not ask questions before you find your own answer. But I implemented this 10 minutes rule. My team members actively ask questions and willing to support each other, which also creates psychologically safe environment. There is a survey to measure employee engagement in my organization. If you got the rate above 80%, your team is considered well engaged. I maintain 84 to 93% for the past 3 years. So I could say that my experiment through my professional career has proved the hypothesis which psychological safety will create highly engaging team indeed. So let me conclude. I am an initiating communicator who is energetic and expressive and like to create friendly environment. So I use it as my strength to create psychologically safe environment. That makes my team happy and that makes me happy too. This has given a huge impact on my professional career. So I realized that it is very important to understand which communication style you have as your strengths to enrich your professional career. That is the end of my speech. Thanks for listening. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Oh, apologies. Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Tsujima. I've no doubt that your team is an extremely safe environment, and congratulations for the great score in the survey. So I've put the comment sheet in the chat. So please, members, let's give constructive comments so that we can all learn from each other. And I also like to put 1 minute time for the comment. So I'll start counting now.
Excuse me, Toastmaster Stefano. When
Yes.
I opened the Google form, I saw my past answers.
1 second, let me, thank you.
Yeah, it opens 15 September.
15
September.
Oh, 15, it says 15 September today, but yeah, it's from last time.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Okay, sorry about that. Let me start it during the break. Thank you for pointing out. Okay. Okay, so I'd like to explain now. We would like just to mirror the contest. We like to place 5-minute breaks whilst evaluators will be jotting down the evaluations. What I'd like to invite to non-evaluators is if you have time, think about an evaluation yourself. I would like to put in some comment time to give some feedback to Toastmaster Naito. So if you do your hypothetical evaluation, I'm sure your comments will also be helpful. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
timers report.
so thank you. Thank you for reminding me. So Toastmaster Yaraki, can you please share your timers report?
Okay, the time was 7 minutes 54 seconds.
Okay, so Toastmaster Tajima, you've gone 24 seconds for time. So we won't be doing any voting, but if we were doing voting, the speech would not be eligible. So I guess.
By the
Okay.
way,
Yes.
in the real contest, the time will not be shared.
Okay, that's good to know. So Toastmaster Tajima, if you want to be a model speaker in the real contest, you don't have to worry about the time. So it's an incentive. Okay. Okay, so I'll maybe if we can reconvene at 7:05, and I'll be asking Toastmaster Kono first to give his evaluation. In the meantime, I'll ask Toastmaster Naito to be in the waiting. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
1 second. Okay. Okay, Toastmaster Naito, is it okay if I send you now to the waiting room? Okay, see you in a bit.
Hey.
Bye-bye. Okay, so our contestant has exited the main room. Toastmaster Daisukono, are you ready to deliver evaluation? Okay, so I'll be handing over to Toastmaster Daisukono, who will be delivering the evaluation for Toastmaster Yuma Tejima's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Kono.
Okay, Toastmaster Tejima, congratulations on completing your Understanding Your Communication Style project. Well, I really liked this presentation. Let's start with whether you've met the objective of the project, which was to share the communication style as per the Toastmaster framework and its impact on your professional or personal relationships. And the answer is a big yes. You've really hit the nail on the head. So let me talk about 3 things that I really loved about the presentation. So first of all, it was the opening that really got me. You posed this question by whether we know our communication style. So I like the way you grabbed the audience's attention. You're very good at that, always, I've observed. The second thing about this entire presentation is that you followed the golden rule of tell the audience what you're going to say it, then tell the audience what you just said. That's a golden rule. So it's a very logical presentation. You gave the Toastmaster communication style framework, you introduced your own style, and you quickly said that I agree with with the conclusion, and you talked about what you valued the most, which was psychological safety, which is the main subject of this speech. After that, you gave an example with 2 points, don't deny and the 10-minute rule. And then you led to the conclusion. So it's very, very logical and easy to follow. And the third point that I liked about the presentation is that you used a very real life example of a situation where you're trying to get people to speak up in a large meeting, and you can't get them to speak up. So therefore, you are providing psychological safety so that people can talk. So I can visualize that situation, and I know exactly how that feels. So it was really great that you explained that example. So how could we make this speech even better? One way to bring out that scene is maybe to add a conversation or 2 that you might have had with your subordinates in that situation. Instead of describing it, actually reenact it a bit. That's one way to liven up that part of the speech. And also, I understand that you have a high engagement rate and you've really succeeded. I was just wondering what the before looked like. So before versus after, if it was a huge improvement. If you provided the before, it would make a better contrast to see how engaged people are now. But overall, really, I thought it was a really fantastic, a regal presentation, if I may say so. And I'm looking forward to your next speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kono-san.
Thank you, Kono-san. Indeed, a regal evaluation for a regal speech. Okay, maybe before we bring back Toastmaster Naito, Toastmaster Araki, can we have this time of support for Toastmaster Kono's evaluation, please?
Oh, timer. Okay. 3 minutes, 33 seconds.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, so let me I need to be careful because you have the admit and the remove button just next to each other, and I've seen people click the remove button and kicking people. So, okay, so I've carefully clicked admit. So Naito-san should be joining back. Let's see. It just says joining ... So hopefully, let me see. Okay. I haven't disconnected Naito-san. Okay, so as the structure I was thinking, and Naito-san, again, with whatever works best for you, I was thinking you deliver the English first, and the Japanese, and then we just do the feedback session. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, perfect. Welcome back, contestant Ichiro Naito. The floor is yours.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Toastmaster Tejima, for delivering your speech, the psychological safety, and talking about the different communication style. I really like the way you structured your speech. First, you explained about the different styles. You asked the question whether people know about communication styles. Of course, people don't. And then you went into explaining. And the explanation, you used the visual aids, the slides that describe the 4 different styles and the actual description of what those things mean. So it was very easy to understand what those things are. If they were just verbal, people, I think, will have been lost. I also like the way you included examples of yourself, how you run your team as an initiating speaker, and how you make sure that you give the psychological safety to the people working with you. Not just talking about it, but including dialogues, such as, I think that's a great idea, let's do it. It makes it more lively rather than just explaining what you are doing. So I believe explaining with actual dialogue makes people imagine what is happening. So I really like that. I also like the way you repeated the initiating at the very end, because by the time people get to the end, most people, I think many people tend to forget, okay, which was his style, one of the 4. So it was good that you repeated, and that provided a very solid summary at the end. So I think it was a very good educational and informative speech. Now I'd like to offer some areas for improvement, both in the structure of your speech and the delivery of your speech. When you show the slides, I noticed that you showed it not in the slideshow mode. So sometimes in that case, you see the thumbnails of the other slides and the command bar at the top. So I really suggest you should be using the slideshow mode so people don't get distracted by the other things. Another suggestion is the eye contact. I noticed that maybe you were looking at the text, but many times your face was slightly off center, and we could see the one side of your face more than the other times. So sometimes you can do that, but most of the time, maybe it's better to just talk into the camera, straight into the camera. And that makes people feel that you are talking to them. And another one is maybe you should include some pauses. It was a little bit maybe too constant. For example, when you first asked a question in the very beginning, maybe you should pause out 1 or 2 seconds more to make people think about the answer. And perhaps you can include some examples of the 3 other styles that you didn't talk about. Maybe say Donald Trump is this kind of a communicator, an actual person. But overall, I really loved your speech. I learned a lot about communication style. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naito, the great evaluation. So maybe if you want to take a few breaths, have a glass of water, and Toastmaster Araki, in the meantime, can you let us know how long Toastmaster Naito's speech was? I think the timing is very important. So
yes,
we want
it was
to know.
3 minutes, 25 seconds.
Oh, okay. Wow, nice. So fully utilize the time. So great. In the meantime, can I check in the chat? I put the latest survey. Is this updated for everyone? And I apologize. I thought I updated it, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'm not using Google Forms correctly. Is it still showing the old one?
I think it's the same as an old one.
Same as old one. Okay. My apologies. So for today, can you please use the chat? It's refreshed on mine, but it's clearly a problem with me using Google Forms. So apologies for that. Okay. Toastmaster Naito, have you taken enough? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. では、日本語のでの論評に移ります。本日のコンテスタントは、チロ内藤さんです。温かい拍手でお迎えください。
はい、手島さん、心理的安全についてのスピーチ、どうもありがとうございました。これはトーストマスターズとしてのコミュニケーションスタイルのスピーチ、ということで、私は手島さんのスピーチを聞いて、今日は非常に多くの情報をいただいて、納得のいく部分もたくさんありました。まず、スピーチ自体がとてもきれいに構成されていて、最初から聞いて非常に分かりやすい。特にビジュアルエイドを最初に使っていただいて、4つの違うスタイルというのを見せていただいたことが非常に記憶に残りました。これをただ口頭で言っただけだと、多分1分ぐらい聞いた後で、何だったかな、特に手島さんのスタイルは何だったかなというのを忘れてしまいがちなんですけれども、実際に4つを見せていただいて、そのうちのイニシエーティングはこれが私です。それだけでなくて、その特徴としてこんなところがありますというのを説明していただいたのが非常に記憶に残りました。さらにその後にご自分の体験、どうして私はイニシエーティングなのかということを実際に例を挙げて説明していただいたのが非常に印象的でした。さらに説明だけでなくて自分のチームメンバーにどういう言葉を使ったのか、例えばまず否定してはいけない、これは非常にいいアイデアだね、やってみよう。で失敗したら今度は、そこでじゃあ教訓は何だったんだろうというふうにですね、起こるのではなくて、そこに心理的安全性を保つということが非常にここで明確に分かったと思います。それから一番最後にイニシエーティングスタイルで、私はイニシエーティングスタイルですということをもう一回繰り返していただいたのが非常に良かったと思います。耳慣れない言葉を使った後で、一番最後にまとめでもう一回言うと、やはり納得感があって、次に手島さんを見たらイニシエーティングの人ということが非常によくわかると思います。その上でいくつか改善できる点があると思いました。全体的な構成、それからデリバリーについてです。まず、スライドを使われたときに、スライドショーモードを使うということをお勧めしたいと思います。そうなっていないと、上の方のコマンドバーとかですね、左の方に次の他のスライドのサムネイルなどが見えてしまって、ちょっとそれが邪魔というか、実際に見せるスライドがちょっと小さくなってしまうということがありました。ですので、スライドショーモードをプレゼンでは必ず使うといいと思います。それからですね、お話しするときに最初に質問から始められたんですけれども、質問をした後はもうちょっと長いそこでポーズをするといいと思います。その時に聞いてる人にちょっと考える時間を与えて、それから次の話に行くというようなテクニックがいいんではないかと思いました。あとはですね、アイコンタクトをですね、カメラの方をやっぱり見るように、どちらかというとちょっとテキストを見てるかなというふうに思えるところがありましたので、たまに横を向いても構わないんですけど、ほとんどの時間は多分目を合わせてる方がいいなと思いました。はい、あとはですね、他のスタイルで実際に誰か個人名を挙げて、事例を挙げていただくと皆さんの記憶に残りやすいかもしれません。はい、私のイバリエーションは以上です。どうも素晴らしいスピーチありがとうございました。
リーガルな論評ありがとうございました。Doesn't work in Japanese, I guess. Okay, thank you, Naito-san. So, can I ask Toastmaster Araki for the timeless report?
Yes, it was 3 minutes 27 seconds.
Oh, wow. So the timing is great. So I'd like to just thank you, Naito-san, again for taking a really challenging role of doing evaluation, both in English and Japanese. Obviously, this is not something that would happen on contest day. It's English speaker, English evaluation. So this is purely for practice purposes. Okay, so I'd like to put some time now as a more like an open discussion for us to give evaluation, give feedback to our contestant evaluator, Naito-san. So if you have any comments or suggestions, please either raise your hand or please just unmute yourself. You can give your feedback, obviously, in English or Japanese, whichever one is best for you. Any takers?
Well, I'd like to hear from Tejima-san.
ですよね。はい。はい。リーガル、エバリュエーションありがとうございました。はい。そうですよね。そのエバリュエーションについてどうだったかっていうことでいいんですかね。
そうですね。聞いて、その納得がいったかどうかとか、そういうことも含めて、
いや、もちろん。
的外れなエバリュエーションだった。
いや、はい。いつも、内藤さんのそのエバリュエーションのスタイルっていうのをもう何度もですね、もう参加するために聞かせていただいているので、もう本当に私の大好きなその内藤さんのエバリュエーションですね。ちょっとふわっとしてますけれども、なんていうんですかね、一番本当にこうお手本となるようなエバリュエーションで、一番初めにこうどこが良かったかっていうのをちゃんと言っていただいて、で、しかもそこが、なんていうんですかね、すごい、スペシフィックだし、伝わってるし、そうなんだなっていうところが、ちゃんと、なんていうんですかね、伝わってるんですね。で、インプルーブメントのところも同じように、なるほど、そういうところを自分では気づいてなかった視点についてこう客観的に見ていただいて指摘していただいているので、私としてはすごく納得感のあるエバリュエーションだったというふうに思います。それをちゃんとこう3分30秒ギリギリに収めてまとめられているところも素晴らしいなと思うので、ぜひコンテストうまくいけばいいなっていうふうに思っています。
はい、ありがとうございます。
はい、ありがとうございました。ぜひ参考にさせていただきます。いただいたフィードバック。
Thank you, Tejima-san. Any other comments? I'll give 3 seconds. Otherwise, I'll share something. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Naito-san. I have a few things that, rather than comments, more as an open discussion. So I think you get all the marks in terms of like the technique recommendations. There are clearly actual tangible points, like even small points where screen sharing and you see the thumbnails, and I think it was very accurate. The only point which, because I've been watching a lot of evaluations from international speech contests, and I think the different approaches you can take. I personally don't like the international speech contest evaluations because I don't think they're focused towards the speaker. You get people who are use the camera space, who are a very, I don't want to say American, but very American. So my question is, for this contest, do you think you will get evaluated for that? Because if there are some judges who might look at like the body language or some kind of hook at the beginning to be interested, that's, I guess I'm slowly starting to see other contestants prepare. So I'm trying to see what's a base case, and so I'd want to understand if body language, use of camera space is something that other contestants might pay attention to. If it's purely content driven, I think you've really hit the nail on the head.
Okay, well, I think I probably will be standing up, maybe not move too much, but maybe move just a little bit, and maybe use my hands a little more. because it's not a prepared speech. It's
Yes.
more like an impromptu evaluation. So I didn't have much time to focus on body movements, that's for sure. But
Okay.
I think I will try to be more conscious about
Mhm.
maybe use of my hands and use more of my camera space.
Okay, thank you. One last thing is, apologies if maybe you did it and I didn't pick up on it, but I know that there's a part also for like summation. Some evaluators are a bit more direct in summing things up.
Mhm.
I didn't see too much of like direct, I'm sure you did it, but in terms of like summation,
Mhm.
I personally, either I wasn't paying attention enough, but the summation part maybe is the one that stood out as being weakest.
I see. Mhm.
But,
Okay.
happy to, also keen to hear what other members are saying, and yeah, we really hope these sessions help you.
Okay, thank you.
Miyake-san.
Yes, so I was going to give my feedback on in the general evaluation, but I'll do it now. Naito-san, thank you very much. It was great evaluation. I think you did a wonderful job as a contestant as well. I just want to share the Kono-san, can I have the co-host or
Or
sharing
let me
screen?
see if I can.
I want to share screen.
I've enabled it.
Okay,
now.
you're a co-host.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so yeah, let's review the judging criteria. So this is a contest, evaluation contest. It's not just a regular evaluation. So there's a standard and criteria for evaluation. So look at Japanese English, same, all right? So analytical quality has 40 points. It's the biggest point. So you have to be very clear and focused, point out what are good point about the speech and what are the improvement points. You have to be very clear. Number 2, recommendations, it has to be positive, specific, and helpful. So it's not just pointing out what's good, what's wrong, what's bad. In the analytical quality, you have to make a good recommendations. That's 30 points. So these two make 70 points, the largest part of the evaluation. And as Stefano pointed out, technique, including body languages, voice, vocal variety, structure. So all this, sympathetic, sensitive, motivational, all the techniques has to support your recommendations here. Okay. And lastly, and as Stefano pointed out, you have to have summation. So Naito-san had a very smooth, very good closing in his evaluation today, but I agree with Stefano. It was as a summation, it was a little bit vague. So in conclusion, these are the great points, and if you could do this, your speech will be much more effective. Something like clear. You have to have clear summation at the end to gain the last 15 points.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think Naito-san did a wonderful job, very smooth. And what I liked about Naito-san's speech today, evaluation today, you pointed out 4 areas of improvements. That's a lot. That's actually a compliment to the speakers. Well, you did a wonderful job, but additionally, you can do 4 more to make it more effective speech. So I really liked it. And also to win the contest, keyword is really important. And in the English evaluation, Naito-san said, it was a great educational and informative speech. Thank you very much. Very clear keywords like this will will get attentions of the judges, and judges like keywords. So as a technique, contest technique, the keywords will help. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you for the great suggestions.
Thank you, Miyake-san. Thank you also for sharing the judging criteria. It's very helpful. We have time for a few more. Any other takers? Was there other evaluator Toastmaster Kono if you have any any suggestions, or you're still more. I see the cocks turning.
Yeah, no, I think you and Tapa-san really covered it, and I've noticed it's very interesting to do my own and then listen to Naito-san's, because there was obviously some overlap, and there were obviously many things that I didn't come up with, and it's kudos really to Naito-san. What else could we add?
Maybe you can share the different things that you said that I didn't pick up.
Oh, that I said that you didn't pick up.
Right.
Okay. So actually, it's interesting because the positives were almost exactly the same, like the grabbing the attention. I didn't mention the visuals because I thought I didn't have time, but there, and then the structure, and also the example. So those three things are exactly the same as you. And then for the improvements, I guess I probably didn't hear correct. I thought that there was no live conversation, but you actually mentioned that there was. So maybe I misunderstood that one. So that was one of my things. But the other was I wanted to see a little bit more of the before and after because Tejima-san emphasized that his engagement level is now very high, like 90%, 84 to 93% or something. So I was just wondering how it was before he introduced his 2-point method of trying not to deny and, the 10-minute rule to give a contrast. So that was my sort of suggestion. But no, overall, I think yours is really much better structured than mine. I ran out of time and I kind of didn't have time to even close it because I realized I went over time. And yours is really great. So I think if you left 10 seconds or more for the close, it's probably going to be perfect. Maybe reduce the suggestions to 3 instead of 4. Then you have enough time to sum it all up. So otherwise, really well structured, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We are running a bit late on time, so if it's okay with everyone, I'd like to move on to close this session. And again, congratulations to Naito-san, and great to hear not 2 but 3 great evaluations. And the meeting is recorded, so we will be sharing that if you'd like to look. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is the negative part of taking the break earlier, but I'm sure we can continue going and feel positive energy. So let's move on to the next fun session, which is the table topic session. And our table topic master for the evening is no one other than Toastmaster Nanako Tada. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stefano. Let me describe my my role purpose. And the purpose of the topic master is to facilitate table topics, where guests and members will have the opportunity to practice their impromptu speaking. I will introduce a topic and call on speakers, who will be given 2 minutes, 2 and 30-second minutes to speak on the subject. And today's meeting theme is the in-house evaluation contest practice. I believe legal evaluations always improve you somehow and some way. In my case, daily feedback by my boss helps me to work productively. So today's topic is evaluation. Please share your legal experiment on the evaluation. My first topic is what's the score you ever got? What's the score you ever got? I'd like to call on Rie-san for this first topic, if you can. And can you?
Sorry, could you repeat that question again?
What's the best score you ever got?
The score.
Yeah, I
Okay.
comment on that board. And does anyone, okay,
I can take
take
this on.
your
I'm
timer. Thank you.
okay. So the best score I've ever got is the TOEIC score. When it was like 4 years ago, I took TOEIC test when I changed my job. At the time I changed my job, and I scored perfect on that TOEIC test. So that's the best score I received. And I thought it was a miracle because I couldn't study much for the TOEIC test. But what I did is I've read Japan Times every morning, and I tried to summarize I picked out an article and tried to summarize it. So that I think helped me to increase my number of vocabularies and also my ability to grab the what's the importance of the article and the main thing that the article is trying to say. And I thought that helped me with the reading part of the TOEIC test. So I didn't buy any text, but I've taken it several times before. So I kind of get used to the structure of the exam. So, the tip is to read the question first and then answer. So that's, I think, the easiest way, especially for the reading section. Just, read the question for the reading part first, and then read the paragraphs, and you can answer the questions very quickly, because you can easily run out of time to take the TOEIC exam. So yes, so that's my story on my TOEIC. Thank you. Back to you, table topic master Nanako Tada.
Thank you for your surprisingly super good story. Actually, I'm going to take TOEIC test next month, so it's very helpful suggestions. I don't know if I can do that like as Ryo-san did, but I'm trying. I do my best. Thank you. So I forgot explain about the time. So can I explain the time on the tabletop? Thank you. So the tabletop speakers should have 2 minutes and 30-second minutes. And at one minute, the green card will be raised. And at 1 minute and 30 seconds, yellow card will be raised. At 2 minutes, the red card will be raised. Please finish your speech in 30 seconds. Thank you. So, going to go to the next topic. Second topic is that what travel destination do you rate 10 of 10 and why? What travel destination do you rate 10 of 10 and why? And I'd like to deliver it. I'd like to call on Toastmaster Anida, if you'd like to.
Sure. So someone please be the grammarian. Then. Okay, so I will start. Thank you very much, Toastmasters Nanako, for giving question, what travel destination do you rate 10 of 10 and why? For me, I think it is Isle of Skye in Scotland, if you have ever been there. So in 2018, I took my master's degree in Scotland, and then I spent 1 year there. I lived in Glasgow, and during I forgot, it was like summer break or winter break. I think it was winter break. The trip was quite long. I went with 17 people from my university, 12 Sky from Glasgow. So we traveled there. And because I'm coming from tropical country, which is Indonesia, it was my first experience with living in a country where every day is cold and every day is cloudy. And I think when I went to the Isle of Skye, I love the nature. I love everyone was very nice. And then it is quite different with the weather, even though it is very cold, but the people who live there were very, very warm. So every time I met people, we go to the restaurant, we went to the many different places. Everyone was just like welcoming us very nicely. And yeah, I think it was my best travel experience, and I think it is like 10 out of 10. So if I can say to you again, it is about the weather. It is new for me. And then about the people, they are quite warm, even though the weather is very cold. Yeah, so those two aspects is the one that I quite enjoyed the time. And I think it is like 10 out of 10. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your wonderful experience in Glasgow, Scotland. I've never been there, so if I have time to go there, I'm so excited to communicate with the people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very nice. Okay.
So the next question goes to next question. Not next topic, sorry. What do you want to improve about yourself and why? What do you want to improve about yourself and why? This topic goes to Toastmaster Daisuke-san.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful question. I don't think I have enough time to answer that because I have so many things that I could improve. So I have to pick one. What do I want to improve about myself the most? I think it's really procrastination. So people who know me, you may know that I'm quite a night owl, and people say, "Oh, Daisu-san, you are such a hard worker. You work so late in the evening, you know. How can you do it?" I know the answer to that. It's because I sit on my behind all day long, trying to start, but unable to. And it keeps shifting and shifting. And by the time I start, it's pretty late in the day. So I'm not so much a hard worker. It's just that I'm such a slow starter. And that's why it always becomes pushed out into the nighttime. But I have to finish it one way or another. Somehow I do. That's the only, I guess, my only strength is I somehow finish. But I wish once that I could wake up at 6 in the morning and get it all done by 9 and have a nice cup of tea or something like that. But probably in my next lifetime, not this one. So to conclude, yes, I'd like to improve my procrastination more than anything else. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Daisuke-san. Yeah, you are a night owl. And I think I used to be a night owl as well. And so I can tell what you feel about what you do. And I changed to the morning early bird gets the worm. So yeah, if you have time and if you go to bed early, I wish you can get up early and just take coffee in 6 a.m. Okay, so let me check the time. Do I have more time?
We are running behind, but I can smell a good question. So shall we do the last one? If that's okay.
Okay.
If that's okay, everyone?
Okay. So let me ask one more question. Okay. So the very last question. If you evaluate someone, what do you want to do? So and why? If you evaluate someone, what do you want to do so and why? So this question probably go to Toastmaster Yumatoshima-san.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me such a difficult questions. So if I want to evaluate someone, who and why? So today I was prepared speech speaker. If I have to evaluate someone, then definitely. So I have two people I want to evaluate, either Naito-san or Dai-san. No, that's because they evaluate my speech today. So every time, Naito-san, Dai-san, evaluate someone's speech, I really like the style of the speech. So structures of the evaluation, so evaluation style. So today, obviously, we have seen Dai-san's and Naito-san's evaluation, and then we observe that the style of the speech, the evaluation, it's crossover. So the structure almost same, like very similar, and then it is very precise. And then if you receive their feedback, you will feel that you will understand, oh, that is good point, and then room of improvement. So I wanted to do that type of speech, the evaluation structure and then evaluation style. So if I have to pick someone who I want to evaluate, definitely Dai-san and Naito-san. That's the end of my table topic speech. Thank you. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you for the very hot comments regarding on today's topic. I agree with you. Both of them have every time deliver good speeches and evaluation. Yeah. Okay, so I have a strict script. And to cover the end of the table topic section.
You want us
So
the timer's
please-
report?
Yeah, please time report, Rie-san.
So I'll start with Rie-san since I measured her. So that's Rie-san's speech was 2 minutes 6 seconds. So within a lot of time.
Okay. So Dincia-san, it's 2 minutes 2 seconds. Dai-san, it's 1 minute 48 seconds. And Tejima-san, it was 1 minute 58 seconds.
So every year it's for vote, I guess. So please, please vote for the best table topic. No.
Okay, so
Who's the vote counter?
Aksan is the vote counter, so let's send her a direct message.
Please select my name and send the message. Send the name of the best table topic speaker.
Okay, so let's give Toastmaster Nanako Tada a great applause. She did an amazing job as a table topic master, and I think they were all really fun prompts. Okay, so with a 40 minutes delay, very sorry, General Evaluator Toastmaster Taka Miyawaki. I'd like to hand it over to you for the evaluation session.
Okay, thank you very much, Stefano. Well, great meeting so far. I really liked meeting today. Let's move first. Okay, we don't have a speech evaluation. We already done it. Okay, right. So let's have a role taker's report. First role is grammarian and India. Would you please give us a report?
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Taka Miyawaki. So this is only for the table topic, right? Okay. So I will give a report first. I will give to Toastmaster Rie-san. I think I was not really focused on taking notes for grammar because the topic was quite interesting, but I found that you used a lot of so every time you change the sentence. So I think, yeah, probably if you can reduce the so, it will be better for the connection between sentences. And then next, for Daisang, I think it is perfect. I didn't find any grammatically errors in your speech, so there is no problem for that. And next, it is for Yumatejima-san. You said once we are observed, but I think what you meant was we observed. And then after that, you also said there is good point and room of improvement. However, I think this should be this. There are good points and room for improvement. Yeah. So that's all from my side. Thank you, and back to Taka-san.
Thank you, Ninja. Did you have do you have any comments for the speakers that like prepare speeches or evaluation? If you don't, that's okay. Did you
I
any?
don't have that.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Naito-san, please.
Yes, I was taking notes when Anindya was speaking as a grammarian. So the expression that I liked, and he actually repeated this twice, cold weather and warm people. Cold weather and warm people. Very good, nice contrast. So that's what I liked about his table topic speech. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Ninja, for taking the first role as a member. Great. Thank you. Okay, moving on to our counters report. Naito-san, please.
All right. Well, I was focusing on my evaluation, so I didn't count the prepared speech. I only counted during the table topics. For the first speaker, Toastmaster Rie, more than 5 R's. There was one one you know, and as Anindya mentioned, you used so 3 times during your speech. For Anindya, very, very good. 1 R and 2 ums. The third speaker, Toastmaster Kono, 2 R's, 2 ums, and 1 you know. The fourth speaker, Toastmaster Tejima, 2 ahs and more than 5 and 1 you know. And for Taka-san, actually, you already said 4 ahs up to now. That's all for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Naito-san. Okay, I haven't even made the speech yet. 4 hours already. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, is that all? Oh, sorry, Waldmeister. I skipped Waldmeister. Waldmeister's report, Kono-san, please.
Certainly. So everyone put on a regal performance today for a word that I just came up on the fly. Stefano used it at least twice, I think. Naito-san once, Tejima-san once, Tada-san once, and I used it at once. Did I miss anyone else? Okay, regal. All right. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'd like to give my general evaluation real quickly, but I really wanted to say thank you to many people today. Thank you first to Rie-san, our president. Good, smooth start. We just waited for a few minutes at the beginning of the meeting. That was okay. But thank you very much for handling very smoothly the induction ceremony. It was very smooth, and also very smooth pledges, like new members pledge and then club members pledge. So it was very good organization, and you just made the ceremony very regal. Thank you very much. Also want to say thank you to Stefano for handling the entire meeting very smoothly. Thank you very much. You are MC and you are the contest chair, many roles. So thank you very much. It was very smooth. Kono-san, thank you very much for picking a very good word, regal. I find it very interesting, like a regal, makes us want to use it. It's like maybe regal and noble, and it's kind of fun to use the word, these words. So thank you very much. Great choice. Nanako-san, thank you very much. This is your first table topic master, right? Very good, very great job. Good explanations. You explained the whole role very precisely, and also all those topics you chose was very challenging. But challenging topics makes us think, and then we can actually give any answers. There's no right answer or wrong answer. You can give anything. So you challenged us in a great way. So thank you very much. Okay, and just wanted to make the last comment. This is evaluation club contest, and also Nanako-san's topic includes one evaluation question to Yuma-san. Why, who do you want to evaluate and why? And I just want to make a quick comment. Evaluation, just think about the word evaluation, right? Evaluation comes from 3 syllables, evaluation. E, the prefix of E or X means evolve, eject. E means taking something out. What do we take out? The second syllable, value, evalue. You take value out of the speech. So it's a fun process of finding treasure from in each speech, or when you do the job evaluation, speech evaluation, all evaluations is a fun process. Find the value out of it. These are the good points, and these are the points that makes even better. So let's please enjoy evaluation in the regular meetings, in the contest, and let's be good at it. Okay, that concludes my general evaluation. I pass the control back to Stefano. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Miyawaki, for the value evaluation full of value. Okay, I think it's time to find out the best table topic speaker. So I'd like to hand it over to our vote counter, Toastmaster Araki. Who is the winner today?
Okay, today's best table topic speaker is It's Toastmaster Daisuke Kono. Congratulations.
Thank you. Rigo.
Rigo.
Okay. Whilst we are okay, maybe we can say Rigo whilst we smile as the photographer. So I'll give you at the three you say Rigo. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Rigo. Okay, I think that's a good word. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Over to you, Toastmaster President Araki. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone, for attending today's meeting. So I would like to call the 158th meeting adjourned.
That was quick.
You want to ask for any business?
Oh, sorry. I forgot. So any club business from anyone?
Yeah.
So area contest?
Yes.
Area contest.
23rd of October. So we will be, our area J3 will be combining it with areas J2, J3, J4. So obviously the benefits of using other areas that we can share resources. And our contestants are person who volunteered, as I mentioned earlier, is Toastmaster Naito, who is currently set to join the Japanese and the English one, and Toastmaster Katsuya volunteered for the English one. Ideally, we would like to have the contestant names by the 4th of October so that we can plan adequately. So if anyone changes their mind and raises their hand, do let me know. But please do let me know quickly, because if we get many people wanting to participate, we need to have a fair way of progressing people if we have 3 contestants. But other than that, let's all continue supporting our club members in the preparation. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefano-san. Is there anything else? Any other announcements?
I guess in case you haven't made payment yet, Toastmaster Mashiro has already sent the reminder. I think it's technically past our internal deadline, but you can still pay if you haven't already. So please make sure you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is not business session, but I was wondering, do Toastmaster Anidia and Toastmaster Sejima have 10 minutes after this meeting? That'd be okay? Okay.
Okay, so any other announcements? No? Otherwise, I'd like to call this meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good
See you
evening.
next meeting.